Example of a Blue Holicer here. It's posed resting lightly on his front feet. Again, this should be very similar to a sliding board where you come up to the top, then you slide down the sliding board where you have a straight back line. You'll see here on this animal, you have a slight dip at the shoulder. You'll also see that the animal peaks too early here, so it flattens off here over the hind quarter. In terms of color, the animal's slightly dark in color, but also very uneven in the color due to mold, etc. Notice that the back feet tend to be carried out like this instead of parallel. The back feet should line up parallel with the hind quarter instead of going out, so he's undercut. A big difference in the width of this shoulder here and the width of the midsection and the width of the hind quarter. You see these hind quarters are out to here, but when you come, then you have this taper inward. And again, we're looking for a cylinder. So the sideline should be perfectly straight from the outside of the hip to the width of that shoulder. In terms of ears, he has a nice shape of ear. They're open, they're rounded. In terms of the head shape, he's got a nice broadness between the eyes. Ideally, he could have a little bit more fullness down here at his lower jaw. Bone, we're looking for a nice heavier boned animal. This animal has good bone, but it's not ideal. Notice that it tends to be just a little bit more refined than you would want in an ideal animal. Also, in terms of length of front leg, the front legs are just a tad longer than you would want to see in an ideal animal. Fur-wise, the density of the fur is very good. Looking down in here, you see no skin when you stroke the fur from the hind quarter to the shoulder. However, if you notice the length of these guard hairs, they protrude significantly above, which is not ideal. And because of this extra protrusion of guard hair, the overall texture of the coat, it tends to be slightly harsher than it should be. So ideally, the guard hair would be much shorter on this animal's coat.